And one of the biggest questions that I get when I'm working one-on-one with clients or when I'm talking to big groups, especially my dancers, is how much protein do I need and where do I get protein from? So let me just start with the American College of Sports Medicine recommends that we get about 12 to 15% of total calories from protein. And let's put that into perspective, for example. It's not as much as we would think. So if you can imagine a plate, about half your plate needs to be fruits and vegetables, and protein needs to represent one small quadrant of that plate. And the plate represents sort of your overall diet, what you're getting throughout the day. Protein is important, don't get me wrong, especially when we're talking about growing adolescents. We all need protein, but what typically happens with most Americans is we get way more than we need. And we may not realize how many foods actually have protein in them that we're getting every day. Like, for example, you could start your day off with oats for breakfast. You could do oatmeal, you could do a sprinkle of walnuts on there, or maybe pumpkin seeds, or maybe hemp or flax seeds. Oatmeal actually has 7 grams of protein per serving, and once you put those walnuts on top of it, or any kind of seed, you're actually upping it to 10 to 15 grams of protein just for breakfast in a small bowl right there. For lunch, you could do a veggie wrap with a nice black bean burger, for example, and some leafy greens and a tortilla. You're looking at another 10 to 15 grams of protein right there, which is a nice range. For a snack, for example, you could munch on some edamames. You could munch on some chickpeas. We're looking at another 7 to 10 grams of protein right there. For dinner, you could come home to a nice minestrone soup, or a lentil soup, or a black bean soup that has usually in the range of like 10 to maybe 20 grams of protein. They also have some wonderful pastas out there, and pasta is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a small amount can give you 8 to 15 grams of protein, depending on the brand and the number of whole grains in them. Whole grains are a beautiful source of protein. Vegetables have protein. Beans and legumes have protein. Nuts have protein. So I think one challenge that we have here in the United States is we tend to think of protein and meat synonymously. But actually, it's better for us in the long term. We're healthier, and we're actually going to be strong, plenty strong dancers if we get our protein from a variety of different sources that also give us lots of good nutrition like vitamins and minerals. So don't overdo the protein. What we want to do is we want to have it in small increments throughout the day, moderate increments throughout the day from a variety of different sources.